Hello and welcome to another episode of Glory of Golden State Gaming. I'm your host, Swamp Swimmer, and by my side, the Ren to my Stimpy, Vespacian.
Hi everybody. I'm as surprised by these as you every time, by the way. So I look forward to the intro so I can hear what he's got coming next for me.
I think if I do a different what's the right word for that phrase? A comparative phrase of us to every episode. I'm gonna run out real quick, so I'm going ahead and shouting this out to the audience. If you have comparison sentence recommendations, hit me up in the comments.
Crowdsource. Let's do it.
But I wanted to point out something very interesting to Vespasian today. My wife, my beautiful wife, is very into drinking carbonated water instead of tap water. She likes carbonated water. Big deal. So we bought a soda stream. And I personally, my number one vice is soda. I love a good root beer is fantastic. So I have been making soda stream root beer. And I love it.
Awesome.
Vespasian, I was wondering, what is your non-alcoholic beverage of choice? Like iced tea, soda?
Sparkling water. I
Just
love it.
okay.
I'm a soda stream, not I'm a super user. I proselytize to others. I love it. I was joking with friends of mine the other day that I don't really drink flat water anymore. I love carbonated water. It's great.
Well, I promise we're not being sponsored by SodaStream, but that's two thumbs up for SodaStream from us.
I like it.
All right, so moving on to the bat rep. It looks like we have Vespacian versus Kingdom of Equitaine Flam, who was your round 2 Fading Flame League opponent.
That's right. Yeah.
Who's Flam and where is he from?
I want to say that he's Polish, I think, or maybe German, but I think Polish. I believe I saw him on one of the Polish teams for the most recent New Year's Revolution tournament. So I think so.
Sweet. He was running KOE.
I haven't played him before, but yeah. Anyway, so this is my league list. You guys saw it last time.
We saw it last week. We're going to skip over it, but we're gonna just if you want more detail on the list, go back to the previous video.
Yep.
But he was running KOE. Duke.
Yes.
Go ahead. If you want to describe it, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, please.
a dupe on a griff. With Bastard or Blessed inscriptions. Gosh, I haven't played KOE, so I don't know what half this stuff is. What's Crusader Salvation?
Crusader Salvation is the reroll failed armor saves,
Okay.
but it importantly allows you to keep the Aegis, unlike Duskforged, right? So he's a rerollable 2-up, I think, with rerollable 2-up, I believe, with 2-up against Flaming. I want to say Renown is the heroic killing blow one, where if you get a 6, you get D3 wounds or something. So hence the Blessed Inscriptions combo, right? So he's going for those big multi wounds. Questing Oath is that +1 hit against fear causers, extra movement, and all that stuff. And the Bastard Sword is either the spear on the charge or the great weapon, right?
Yep.
So yeah.
Damsel on Druidism with the heirloom.
Shocking.
I love Druidism myself, so I can't complain about that one. Let's see. Duke General on a horse, Salt and Fusion, Hero's Heart on a hand weapon, Lightning Vambrace is Lucky Charm. So
I thought this was kind of a cool little atypical build, right? So you see a lot of the double griffs, right? So he's moved one of them down to a horse to kind of beef up one of his blocks. He's pretty nasty with Hero's Heart, so lots of pretty solid attacks. Lightning Vambraces gives him what Druidism lacks, which is another magic missile. So I kind of like this build, and pretty cheap at 370 for something. Yeah.
And he's got a Paladin BSB on a horse, double Aether Icon, Lance with Wormwood Core, and Alchemist Alloy. What's Wormwood Core?
One time Strength 5 breath weapon.
Oh.
So it adds, helps with rubber lance, basically, right? So it helps kind of really hit the opponent on the charge,
Gotcha.
especially, so you can kind of break through them. So
All right, so 12 Knights of the Realm with Banner of Speed, full command. 6 Knights of the Realm, full command. 5 Knights Aspirant with a Musician. 13 Knights of the Quest with Stalker and full command. The Green Knight, yes, I love the Green Knight. 2 Yeoman Chaff, or Yeoman Outriders Chaff, if you want to call it that. And then
hey, what?
and then 2 Scorpions, which are fantastic. Scorpions are so good.
Yeah, really, really glad that they gave him a needed points increase from 115 to 120. It really makes a big difference.
Do I sense a hint of sarcasm?
Yeah, I mean, looking at this for me, I have nothing, one on one that can deal with the Hippo Duke. That's just a nasty ability, kills my griffs easy. The 2 Scorpions keep my griffs hidden pretty much. And a couple of really beefy night blocks that are going to be hard for me to deal with, and some chaff and the Green Knight to just play havoc and some mobile scoring. So pretty solid list. I was I don't know exactly. I can't remember if I tried to rate this, but it definitely was not a good matchup. I put it in kind of middle of the road, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And we were playing Breakthrough.
Oh yeah, that was back here. Refuse flank breakthrough. Okay.
Yeah. And it looks like the same person who was taking pictures for the last one took pictures for this one.
Damn it, Aaron. Damn it.
Good Lord. Okay, so unfortunately, this is after. This is after my turn 1 movement.
So you got top of the turn. Did he choose sides?
I want to say that he did. Because wait, hold on a second. Actually, maybe he did move. I'm just looking at the angling. I think I chose sides. He took turn 1.
Okay.
And kind of advanced a little bit cautiously, basically, I would say. And I think that's right. Yeah, that looks right to me. And then I countered here, and you can see a couple of things that I've done. So one, he chose to kind of drop on the bottom there and leave the top to me. And I saw an opportunity that brought the blue griff around, which is the more sacrificial one. Remember, the green one's the BSB. And I used the blue griff. He could get out of line of sight of the Hippo Duke and be within a reasonable charge range of the Scorpion. And I had the Grey Watchers available to shoot at the Scorpion and try to do the debuff. So I was hoping that, one key miss from the Scorpion would let me hit the Scorpion over and off the board, and then I could be, in a good spot to harass the back of his lines. So I did. It was a calculated risk here. I'm not sure if it was the right choice, but I needed. Otherwise, the Griffins were just going to have to hide behind the hill the whole game.
Yeah.
And then other than that, Lions on the hill zoning with the Prince, and the Mage, I believe, is in there as well. And then Archers down on the left, Spears, and Swordmasters up at the top, which I was kind of looking to bend around his flank there, and I brought the Reavers down to start hunting Scorpions, basically.
No, that makes sense. I can see you're trying to wrap it around the impassable here, your battle line, because he's going to hit you super hard, but hopefully you're going to stick with your ranks.
Yeah, and we'll see from the next pick. This is either my turn 1 and I got first turn, or it's his.
On your markings of these pictures, this is top of 1 movement.
Okay, so it was me, I guess. It looks a little bit like his units are up, but maybe I'm just not able to tell very well with the refuse flank. But yeah, so this was my first turn movement. So let's see what he does. Okay, yeah, so this looks right. So this looks like it's his turn 1. Okay, so he's pretty cautious. He pulls the Duke back. Should I fail the charge at the Griff, right?
So on your top of 1, did you do any damage with shooting or magic or anything?
Oh, So that's a good question. My shooting did a grand total of 2 wounds to that scorpion over on the right.
Oh, I see.
That's with 29 shots into those realm knights on the bottom left. 2 bolt throwers and the Grey Watchers. You'll also notice that I did not get the Grey Watcher debuff off on the Scorpion there, which, with 5 shots hitting on I think 3s or 4s, I was pretty disappointed with that, but it is what it is. So I did 2 wounds there. That was basically it. So now he's counter moved. You're pretty tentative with the knight units. I think the spears, obviously he doesn't really want to charge into them, and the lions either. So pretty tentative with those movements there. He reshuffles the yeoman to guard the scorpion from my reavers.
He's setting up this counter charge with his griffin and your griffin. If you go into the scorpion,
correct.
Is I guess I don't know if I'm asking a question like, did you charge or not? But like, is the right move to not charge and to hide behind the impassable? I don't know.
Well, there's not a good place to hide where he is, right? Because if I hide behind the impassable where your cursor is there, the other scorpion can see me.
Yeah, true. You committed yourself there.
Yeah, the thing that I think was a little questionable here was, if I make that charge, I overrun off the board. So then the dude's wasted a couple of turns.
He's wasted a half a turn, yeah. Or no, a whole turn.
Yeah, if I don't make the charge, then I'm going to get wasted by at least 1 scorpion, if not 2. So it kind of, to me, I felt like it was overkill. But I guess he just really didn't want to lose the scorpions early, or really wanted to kill the griffin, which was fair.
All right.
So yeah.
So, looks like you got hit for 3 wounds on the griffin.
Yeah, so I get hit. Wow, maybe it's like a kind of a blurry picture. So I get hit for 3 wounds on the griffin. Oh, there we go. Get hit for 3 wounds on the griffin. Could have been worse. Obviously, he could have one-shotted me. So I also could have made my ward save, but that's beside the point. And then the griffin fails the charge, needing an 8 on Swift Strike. Just painful. I was like, okay, so a lot of things didn't align. By the way, he would have missed if that Grey Watcher debuff went off, just as a side note.
Oh, really? He rolled exactly what he needed.
Yeah. So I was a little disappointed with that.
So what's your thinking over here with going wide with the these are the archers?
Okay, so important note. So notice a couple of things are missing down here. So one, the Knights of the Realm that were in that field have fled off the board. Okay, and what happened there was my opponent made, I think, a slight mistake, and he left me what was, I think if I recall correctly, a 7 on the dice charge with the spears. I think he hadn't checked the angle, and I took it, and he was like, I can't let your spears get over into that flank uncontested, so he fled, which obviously, that's one of his scoring units. Good matchup against the archers over there with that little unit. So I think that was a costly mistake there. So he fled, and that the pros and cons. I ended up rolling the 7, so it was the right decision to flee. But I rolled it as a 6 and a 1. So that pulled my spears, you can see, compared back to the last one, way down, right? And put those night bricks in my flank.
Yes,
right?
They did, yeah.
So now getting around to your original question, the archers spread wide like that was to allow the spears to flee.
Flee through your... I gotcha.
Yeah, I just wanted to de-risk the possibility of like a double 1 flee, right? So with this orientation, even a double 1 would take me over the archers and pretty much safe, or like a 10, 11 on the dice, which is maybe not safe, but close, for him to catch me. So it was risky, but I felt like removing that knight unit on the left was a big payoff, and the archer move helped me kind of mitigate the risk. So other thing here, let me just check. You can see he took off a couple of Grey Watchers with the lightning van braces.
Mm-hmm.
That was something. And I think, yeah, just looking at it, I think that was about all that happened from his turn. And now you see how I've reacted. So once again, keeping the lion zoning from the hill, BSBs hiding behind the hill so he can't get shot. Swordmasters are continuing to creep down, right? Not having the Duke up above the impassable meant that they could basically start threatening the middle, right? Which was nice. So yeah. Oh, and then even worse for my opponent, the knights fleeing off the board were within 6 inches of those yeomen, and they were just out of BSB and general range and fled off the board as well. So that was a big loss for sure. And at that point, I'm pretty sure I took the Reaver charge into that Scorpion and failed it.
This one down here?
Yeah, I think I had like a 10 on the dice charge. Getting rid of that Scorpion would have been huge.
That's the right move. Even if it's a long bomb, you go for it.
Yeah, so that was it for my turn.
Okay.
Movement.
Oof.
Bottom of 2.
All right, so he obviously charged with this unit. Spears fled, and then he redirected it into the archers, and they fled also.
Correct.
And you took you took so many TTs.
Yes, yeah. And then yes. So what happened was he charged my Griffin with his Duke. Mm-hmm. I guess he just didn't want to take the risk of the Scorps not finishing him off. Oh, I did 2 more wounds to the Scorpion there, just as a side note. He charged, and I fled because if I got through, to the other side of my troops, past the forest, can rally and come back and get healed and stuff. So I was like, this is a better move. So I fled, and of course I rolled like hardly anything, landed in the forest and killed myself in a DT just out of 18 inches from the Meletis bubble, so I couldn't save myself. So an ill-fated game for the Blue Griff, unfortunately.
Classic. He's like, we gotta get out of here. Oh, look out for that tree.
Dead. So that was a shame. You can also see that he pops the Green Knight up to, once he realizes, once he fails those charges into my spears and the archers with the questing knights, he realizes that I've got a pretty reasonable rerollable charge off that hill with the lions and his lances, so he pops the Green Knight up for some instant chaff, and brings the yeoman up to chaff my swordmasters, no overruns, and he brings the aspirants down to defend the Scorpion and moves it because I've given him no targets with it, so he might as well move it back and get it further out of range. So yeah, that was his turn. And what is he? And then I think next you'll have my.
This is end of 2.
This is his end of 2, right? So he
gets stone skin off on the Green Knight. Wow.
Yeah. I want to say there was something that he did that I really didn't want. No.
What's this token here? What's the pink token?
Oh, that's the Miladies. Okay. That's the hereditary. I think that he just diced me. I think I saved all my dice for that spell, and he just outdiced me on it. So, yeah. I think that's what happened there.
Okay.
I really didn't want that up, but yeah.
Holy cow. Big changes. So he goes for...
So we skipped turn 3 here, so sorry about that. We played this game over multiple days. Okay, so if you go back to the last one, I can kind of help describe what happens here to the next. Yeah. So in my turn 3, I charge his yeoman, which he obviously holds with the swordmasters.
Yeah, here, right? And he goes in the front.
Right. I don't do anything with the Green Knight. I don't want to charge him at res 7 or whatever it is. So I just reposition to be on the hill. The spears and the archers both rally.
Of course they do. You're Highborn Elves.
Yeah. Sure. I'll tell you, the 18-inch bubble from the Griffin BSB is really
Oh
nice.
yeah.
Going back to the 12-inch, it's harder to keep everything within the range. But anyway, so I those both rally, and then the Swordmasters clean up the yeoman and reform,
Mm-hmm.
and they're out of arc of everything when they reform, except the Green Knight. So spoiler alert. And then but not out of arc of both of his buses and the
Yeah, I see.
Duke.
Yeah. So you're somewhere like right here,
Correct.
just out of this
Yeah.
degree.
Yeah. So then if you advance, I think helps catch us up a little bit. So here, what happens is the the archers are starting to make a break for the objective, right? The spears have reformed up into ranks, and he's moved up because of the positioning of the swordmasters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he brings the Green Knight into the swordmasters,
He charges
and
the Green Knight. He doesn't just chaff.
sorry, yeah, he charges,
Mm-hmm.
and I do 2 wounds right off the bat in that first combat. And I think that scared him a little bit, so he brought the questing knights up, and I chaffed them with the spears, basically.
I see.
And you can see, took the realm bus into my lions, right?
But he
Like,
got Stone
backed
Skin up.
to make it a yeah. So he backed up to make it a longer, or I backed up to make it a longer charge. But I also got the little green token, the Grey Watcher debuff, off
Mm-hmm.
on his realm knight bus. So he was -1 to hit and a fair distance. Still makes it in. Um, this was another round where I didn't end up stopping Stone Skin because I prioritized stopping Oakenthrone, because I'm strength 6. I can handle res 5 knights, right? But can't handle res 7, right?
Yeah.
So I stop Oakenthrone and I let through Hereditary, and then I
Well,
think I just
they're
did
the Realm Knights are toughness 4 base.
3. I thought.
3. I just don't know. So that means, yeah, without the throne up, they're gonna be toughness 5, and then
Right.
with the throne, they'll be toughness 6.
Exactly. So he comes in, and you can see does not kill very many
3.
lions.
He only kills 3.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
bad luck.
it was really bad luck, and I think part of it is he's hitting on 4s that go to 5s with the Grey Watcher debuff. So he's hitting on 5s, even though he's wounding on 2s, right? Hitting on 5s is pretty rough. And the Duke gets, I think I challenged the Duke out or something like that, but the Duke just, I think just like wails on my champion or something. And
Yeah.
he just doesn't end up doing that many wounds, right? So then it's my turn, and now I've done the 2 wounds to the Green Knight. I've moved the spears over to chaff. The archers are making a break for the objective. The reavers are just going to kill that scorpion. And then in my turn, let's see if we can advance a little bit.
But did he get his Hereditary off also?
Yes, he did. So I let him have that, and then I think failed to stop Stone Skin.
Ooh, that's the last picture we got.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I thought. Okay. So now you see my turn 4. I put the Griff. That was what I just described was turn 3. I put the Griff BSB into the flank of
Yeah.
the Realm Knight bus and wipe out the basic knights.
Ooh.
So he's just down to the characters. He once again struggles, even though he blows the breath weapon.
Yeah.
He struggles to kill much of anything. I have the Hereditary up, and he basically just does a couple wounds, and so he auto breaks. I pursue with both. I catch and kill them, which is his general BSB and only caster, right? And then it's not all things don't all come up roses for Aaron. He is now the Griffin is out of his cover, right? And he one shots it with a Scorpion. Just whatever. They get 2 total shots at Griffins in the game and do 7 combined points. Anyways, and then in so doing, you can kind of see from the positioning here. Imagine the Griffin and the Lions kind of down near the forest. In killing off my BSB, he's unchaffed the Lions from going into the flank of the Questing Knights, who then flee through my archers and off the board. I guess he just figured it was going to be over anyway. So the Questing Knights flee off the board, and then the Duke goes into the Swordmasters in the rear in this coming turn. I've just killed the Green Knight. No, he goes into the rear. I challenge him out because now that the damsel isn't alive, the Green Knight can't accept challenges. So I challenge him out with the champ, kill the Green Knight, turn around, do 2 wounds to the general. He kills a few, and then because my BSB is dead, I fail a steadfast 9 on the general's leadership. Still get run down by the Swordmasters. I have 1 time to shoot at that Griffin twice with my bolt throwers and fail both. He kills the bolt thrower, but at that point I've gotten both of his Scorpions, everything on the table except for the aspirants and the hippogriff.
Yeah.
And I get the objective. It's for a 18-2 to me.
18-2.
Yeah.
That was a brutal game.
Sorry about the lack of pictures. I promise I'm trying to get better. Any thoughts?
I feel like he didn't play it poorly. It's just I think you had a pretty good matchup against him.
Okay.
And also I just think KOE is just underappreciated right now with power level. I think they're struggling, but especially against White Lions or Lion Guard, they just can't do much. And you've got Milady's up. It's just ugh.
Yeah, I think. It's it goes to show you having a brick like that come into the Lions and bounce essentially, right? Is nasty.
Well, it's devastating. But I'm thinking, because do you remember in the beginning, did he finish dropping first or did you? You finished dropping first to go first, right?
I guess I must have. Yeah. I mean,
because I feel like if that was the case, I feel like he should have. He needed to overload one side to make the KOE work, and he went right up the middle, which I think was the wrong move. I mean, it's not a bad list. That butts with all those characters and hits like a Mack truck, but
yeah, I think the one thing that I think was might have been a little bit of a mistake with him was the use of the Griff. I think that he can handle my flyers easily. He can fight pretty much every block that I have except the Lions, right? So, and as a flyer, it should be pretty easy for him to avoid that one infantry block. So, like, I was a little bit surprised. Like, I was kind of thinking of, like, he should have brought his Duke up to start preventing me from hiding behind the hill to flush the BSB Griff out. The Duke could have absolutely murdered everything on my left side, right? So I think he was a little bit too scared of the Reapers because, like, I don't know, I think they do like less than a wound on average against that model each a turn. So maybe it spikes, but it completely changes the game if that guy is over in my left flank by the ruins there in turn 2.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
And I think that he had the right idea in the beginning where he was trying to charge the Lions with both Night Bricks together.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. but I think if you have any sort of risk, like say if one's like an 11 or 12 and you have no reroll, you know, that's risky to try to put them into the alliance, because exactly what happened can happen, right? If only one makes it in, then it's, you know, they get rinsed probably, even that big one. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then yeah, I think that was tough. I don't know. I agree with you though. I think that he probably should have tried to overload a flank. But this at the bottom sucks. We've talked through this map before.
Yeah.
Having that impassable split your deployment zone is awful.
And plus he's a bunch of knights. He's gonna have trouble going through either of these forests, and he's gonna have trouble going through the ruins.
Yeah,
It's a tough map for him. I'd definitely point that out.
yeah. I mean the question Knights had the Stalker standard, so
Oh, no.
those forests are not as bad, but um, the main bus didn't, I don't think. So yeah, I don't know. It's I think getting to pick sides was really helpful. And yeah, I think it was my dice showed up when I needed them to in that lion combat, and his definitely didn't. So although my poor Griff certainly saw
Oh,
the
poor
bad end of the
Griffs.
dice.
I don't feel bad for him at all.
I know you don't. I know you don't. But yeah.
So this
So
leaves
two
you
wins
at
to start out the league.
yeah, that's 2 wins. The first game, what did you get? It was like a 16?
15.
15. So a 15 and 18, that's a great start to the league.
Yeah.
I don't have a round 2 for the league because that's my bye week. So don't be looking for a battle report about me. But we'll continue to do battle reports on the league.
Nice.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.